our country is open. I mean, she has opened up our country. We have witnessed an increase, a number of investments in our country, an increase of number of tourists. I think in 2021, the number was 900,000, something like that. But come last year, 2023, we registered about 1.8 million tourists. This is a very positive development. So I think what we need now is just to support our president, and we are at the level of diplomacy. We are now implementing very well the economic diplomacy, and which is the base of our foreign policy. Yeah, and our president has undertaken a number of state visits with objective to open up the country. And I think we see very positive development. Now, President is a diplomat number one, so we are implementing hard directives very well, and we have been receiving a number of invitation. We have now a strategy for the implementation of our economic diplomacy. Our foreign policy is under review, and this is just to go along with the directives of our president. So that's what we are doing, and we are ready to support her.
And in the studio, we are joined live with Fortis Rutabingwa, who is an economic analyst working on areas of research and market development. Welcome, Mr. Rutabingwa.
Thank you very much for having me.
What is your take on President Samia Suluhu Hassan's performance on economy as she prepares to mark 3 years of presidency?
Thank you very much. In fact, before commenting on that, it's better to have the background perspective of what happened before she came to power. First of all, it was unprecedented transfer of power, and it was amid global pandemic, and she's the first woman to take over leadership. So those are the environment which was very challenging for her to carry on the torch. But so far, the numbers has shown it was a stellar performance. Economic numbers are positive, and even in our markets, our stock market has gone up, and a lot of issues has progressed well, despite of in between having some external shocks, for example, Ukraine war and energy price hiking. So far, we are in the right track.
Okay, these last 3 years have been marked with a number of major global challenges, from COVID-19, wars, as you also mentioned earlier about the issue of COVID-19. What do you think have been the key factors to Tanzania's comparatively better economic performance?
Of course, as it was earlier mentioned, when she took over, she decided to take a diplomacy with the foreign investors, to attract more investment from outside, as well as to have a participatory approach in the local country. So she was a kind of creating conducive business environment for the business to flourish. And as a result, in fact, the banking sector was on the high side of creating liquidity in the economy, so that at least we are in a position to withstand those external shocks. As well, because our debt to GDP ratios in a sustainable threshold, it enabled us to be able to withstand those external shocks without affecting inflation or without having a significant depreciation of our currency.
Okay. There's still a number of major projects awaiting the completion, like the Mwalimu Nyerere hydropower project, the SGR project, construction of various airports, and etc. How do you think these projects are going to benefit the nation and individual Tanzanians?
Of course, those legacy projects are the key for our future, for the future of our country. Because upon completion of those projects, it will widen the national economy. It will increase interconnection between Tanzania and the landlocked countries, and give, especially this hydroelectric power, it will give the much needed energy sustainability in our country. So they will help to make our country be competitive, as well as save those landlocked countries and propel our economy to where the proponents, the supporters of those economic projects were projecting. So the most important thing is for these projects to be completed so that the desired benefit can be achieved.
Okay. President Samia marks 3 years of presidency, but also throughout these 3 years, they have been marked with huge technological transformation in various key sectors. What's your take on how the country has capitalized on the advancement of science and technology, and what more can be done?
Of course, on that area, we must applaud the current government of investing, especially in the primary education and secondary education, and the emphasis on what they call STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, because technology must start at the grassroots level. So by continuous supporting education on the primary level and the secondary level, it means they're investing in the future of the science and technology in the country. And of course, they have maintained the percentage of GDP of funds invested in the research and development. So that is the key areas where we need more effort to be put so that we can become competitive. As you can see, there's a lot of changes in the blockchain technology, AI technology. I think what can be done, you have asked me about what can be done more, is to continue investing in the primary education, secondary education, especially by introducing the coding subjects in those schools so that our future generation could become more competitive.
Oh, indeed. Lastly, how can individual Tanzanians maximize on the strides made at the country level?
Of course, as there is a saying that the rising tide lifts all boats. So with the rising tide of the economy, with the banks continue to provide liquidity to the economy, it means every individual on their capacity, they can participate by investing, for example, in the stock market, by participating in the treasury bonds market, so that within their own economic environment, they can have some amount saved and then participate in those economies, so that when the stock market rise, it means they will benefit from their savings.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Fortius Rutabingwa. And on to the next news. Now we are joined with Hamza Hassan Juma, who is the Minister of State in the Second Vice President Office, Policy, Coordination and House of Representatives. Talking to my colleague Fatma Matulanga, he analyzes how Zanzibar has made strides in various key sectors, including education, health, water services and business sector.
Zanzibar, we manage well this money from the COVID. So for Zanzibar, we done well for this money. Yeah, we have 11 districts in Unguja and Pemba. All districts we have got one district hospital and some other underclass hospitals. So we have done well, and now all project for the district hospital is already done, and the people starting to use it. For water, we have a lot of infrastructure in all districts, as I told you, and we have built the storage tank to the district, which take about 1 million liters for each infrastructure. So for water project, there are some projects that were not finished. It is going, but hopefully maybe after 6 months we are going to use it for the water project.
the management of human resources, the growth of the tourism sector, as well as the implementation of development projects are among the activities that the Tanzania Forestry Services Agency, TFS, have achieved within the past 3 years under the leadership of President Samia Suluhu Hassan. The remarks have been made by the Professor of Forestry and Commissioner of the Forest Agency Services, Dos Santos Silayo, during a workshop with editors and journalists from